Hey y'all, welcome to Be Creative, and today we are going to go over storyline objectives. And this is a writing technique that I came up with, and I would love to share with y'all. And as always, I have the contents of what I'm going to have on this video. And please hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. Alright, so we're going to begin. And alright, let's jump into it. So today we're going to go over storyline objectives. Obviously, I'm going to have like what inspired me to do it, um, an actual outline of what this writing technique looks like, and as always, an example. All right. So, storyline objectives is a plot outline of how your story progresses from the beginning of conflict until leading into the climax or when solved. What inspired me to create these storyline objectives was from a YouTube channel called Finmoto, who goes over aspects of story development in films. I decided to apply that knowledge to create story beats that allowed the plot to progress. A common misconception that someone could interpret that it all revolves around the plot. False. It's the characters who move the plot forward, making the story character driven. What I am outlining is the plot itself and what necessary steps that the characters must take throughout the story. Another misconception is the story objectives begin when the book or film first introduces the characters. Somewhat false. Although it is a must to understand the characters and their internal conflict at the get-go, however, this is supposed to break down the external conflict of adventure, quest, out of comfort zone taking place. And I just want to talk about that really quick. There is a difference between internal conflict and external conflict. So internal conflict is what the person is dealing with themselves, like inside of them. And external conflict is something that is happening like in their surroundings pretty much. So storyline objectives is what's going on in the story, what's in the character's surroundings. Okay. Though I will create storyline objectives based on the character's internal conflict through their desire, fear, and misbelief. That'll definitely be a future video. Storyline objectives can be used as an outline to create your story while weaving in how the characters move the story forward. I hope that this can inspire you to apply this method of developing your story or create an original outline or concept of your own. Alright, so storyline objective. So storyline outline formula. Who cares? I'm going to hit the main points in blue, and then the things in purple I'm going to go over as I explain. All right. So objectives. So objective A is going to be the ultimate goal to reach and or achieve. So this is like the main objective that you want your story to revolve around pretty much. And it doesn't necessarily have to be right at the get-go. It can be whenever the incident is taking place. Inciting incident is pretty much that first big thing that happens in your story. And so questions to ask yourself is, what is it that you want your character to reach or achieve? What is the conflicting situation forcing the characters to go through? So pretty much what I'm saying with these two questions, basically, like, what is it? Like, this is, so objective A is pretty much that kind of like brainstorming a little bit. Like, what do you want your story to, like, not necessarily all be about, but what do you want your story to, like, get to a certain point? You get what I mean? I think you get the gist of it. And then the conflicting situation, like, what is going to be that main situation that the characters are going to go through pretty much. All right. B, first step into main goal. And how I divided this was in 2 to 3 smaller tasks. Okay, so like maybe little obstacles or maybe some trials or tribulations, anything like that. And then questions What is the first necessary step that the character must take on? How are they going to take on the smaller things in this step? So, this is like your first act. Like pretty this is like your first act. And um taking the necessary steps to get to move on to the story and all that stuff. You need like necessary steps. It's like maybe like a recipe book, you know how it has steps and all that stuff. So this is what it the storyline objectives is kind of doing here. And like how are they going to do it? Like what are they going to do? Like how are they going to move this story proactively? C. Second step into main goal. And again, 2 to 3 smaller tasks. And then, what is the second necessary step that the characters must take on? How are they going to take on the smaller things in the step? So, pretty much, this is like in the middle of the story. And this when things get a little juicy and all that stuff. And also, like, and this doesn't have to be like the very next step. It could be like, I don't know, like your third or fourth step, and like it's in the middle of the story. So whatever is in the middle of the story, right there. And what what steps are they going to take to for them to progress? And then D, third step into main goal, 2 to 3 smaller tasks, and the questions: what is the third necessary step that the characters must take on, and how are they going to take on the smaller things in the step? So pretty much Act 3, and it's kind of wrapping the conflict up into um, whenever the character's down, leading up to their aha moment and to the climax. So, point A introduces the main conflict which the characters must face head on. It is what drives them to reach and achieve that specific goal. Point B, in this case, represents Act 1 in your story. In simple terms, it's the first necessary step to get closer into achieving the main goal. There will be other obstacles along the way when progressing the characters through the plot. Point C represents Act 2 in your story. In simple terms, it's the second necessary step to get closer into achieving the main goal. Your obstacles should get challenging for your characters as they are progressing throughout the plot. Point D represents Act 3 in your story. In simpler terms, it's the third necessary step to get closer into achieving the main goal. The story should be at the point where the characters are at their lowest point and a comeback moment throughout the climax of your story. Note, there can be more than 4 point objectives as long as each objective circles back to the main objective or goal set for your story. And I just want to pause really quick on here, like, and don't see this storyline objective as something. Oh, I had to follow it all the way. No, you can definitely bend the rules to it. And I also have a PDF in the description below about the storyline objective for if you want to follow along. But you can always like add more points. You can have point E, point F, or however long your story is, as long as you can pinpoint those main um objective points in each of your story. Okay, and don't think that you have to have every single obstacle or event that takes place. It doesn't have to be that. You can skip. Let me see. I'm trying to use a example for my story. Um, let's see. What did I skip? You can skip. I don't know. You can skip a party scene. You don't have to write that down. Like if there's nothing in a particular scene that the person has to go through, you don't have to write that down for your storyline objective. Okay, so don't make this objective outline feel like you had to write every single event down. If you know what I mean. Okay, this is here to help you get the main points. Okay, example. So this is my example, but I avoid using the names for, spoiler. Okay, so we have our main objective that is create a cure to heal someone from illness. Um, okay, don't judge, okay? Don't judge. Okay? Um, B, person crisis. So pretty much this person is going through identity crisis, kinda, and figuring it out. And three smaller tasks or points that I want to cover in this section is deal with someone, then whereabouts, and protect someone from potential danger. C, place boundaries and test trust. So the person takes over, knowledge potentially finding the answer, someone finds their own answers. I know it doesn't sound the best, but hey, I'm being pretty vague, especially with names. Okay, D, all at the same location. So confront situation, come up, put it everyone together, recruit to save someone. See, and when it comes to storyline objectives, it doesn't have to be like, oh, this is the best thing ever. This can be your rough outline. And for all you plotters who love like plotting out, brainstorming all this is a great outline technique that you can use um for developing your story before you get to writing. So yeah. Okay. But also Pantsers, you can definitely use it if you want to. Just like, let's see what story I can create based on this, okay? And then, what are the takeaways? So, storyline objectives, we have defined what storyline objectives were. Storyline objectives formula, we explored an outline that covers story beats that the characters must do to move the plot. Storyline objective example. We observed an example that followed through the storyline objectives formula and learned that there could be as many objective points to the writer's content. If you made it to the end of the video, comment objective and comment below what other writing techniques you want me to try out and probably create as well. And also, I hope you took away something that you learned from the storyline objectives and apply it to your own writing skills. Thank you for watching Be Creative and stay creative.